This is the Empyrean Centre, which houses the Empyrean Training Academy. We're basically here to provide a service to the hospitality industry that's been wanting it for some time now, and we are lifting the bar, if you like, in service for Northbridge hospitality. The way we're doing it is through training people that otherwise wouldn't have this opportunity for training. So we find our students from various disadvantaged backgrounds. The government likes to put labels on all of those backgrounds, but we just call them all Empyrean students. I came to Empyrean from 5 years of teaching higher education, and one of my roles with the university was to act as media spokesperson on hospitality issues. I'd found myself trying to defend the hospitality standards in WA, and in particular in Perth, as the media was giving us quite a hard time at the time. And the owners of Empyrean, James and Patrick, got hold of me and asked me to come down and talk to their staff about service standards and how to improve them and reach a level of excellence. We quickly discovered that we'd caught onto a niche need in the market. There was a desperate need for quality customer service training in hospitality, and we progressed on to become a registered training organisation. In 2009, November, we started our first classes, and we got our students from the Job Service Australia networks, and that's when I started tendering for government funding under the PPP and access arrangements. Since then, we've had around 200 students come through. Most of the restaurants in Northbridge have at least one of my graduates in there. These students come to us from not just training barrier disadvantaged backgrounds, but they also have significant social and economic barriers as well. Empyrean recognises it, and we provide flexibility in our training program in order to meet their personal needs. So we've built a bridge between those people that need training and an industry that desperately needs trained people. Since coming to Empyrean, I believe that I have actually made more difference in the last 2 years here than I did at 5 years in the university sector, because I'm teaching people real skills that they use immediately. Most of my graduates are employed. All of my students have either work experience or paid work at least once a week. And effectively, we're using the government's money, your money, to provide a skilled workforce using people that would otherwise be welfare dependent. We're getting people off the dole. We're providing them with a life, something to enjoy and look forward to. And in the process, we're making a better industry for all of us. Ours is a very personal service. It's about recognising opportunities to communicate with people on various levels. And you don't need to be a psychologist to work this out and work out how to help people to enjoy their experience. If you like, we're guardians of your experience in a restaurant. We ensure that you are having a good time, that everything you require in order to have a good time is met. There's a lot of personal reward to be had in hospitality. It's quite a skill to keep your guests happy and comfortable for an entire evening's experience. You can't do it unless you actually believe in what you're doing. How do we instill that in our students, that passion and enthusiasm and commitment? See, these are the three things that employers can't teach you. They're the things that you must come to a job with. But we can encourage the growth of those things. The passion, I think, largely comes from our lecturing staff. I would like to think from myself also. Hospitality has been great to me, and I'm honoured to be able to give something back to it. Commitment. These students are all aware that they are here, paid for by the government, therefore by the taxpayer. They've got a responsibility. The course is not cheap. We didn't intend it to be cheap. It's an expensive course to run, so we have to charge accordingly. So the funded dollar going towards the student needs to know where it's coming from and what's expected for it. So there's a great deal of commitment involved in that. i.e. they must attend every class, they must be there on time, they must be dressed suitably. We provide the uniforms for them, and they need to look after them. So they learn a little bit more about how to be committed to a task. Enthusiasm. I guess most of our students have been unemployed for quite some time, so for a lot of them the enthusiasm has been drained away over a number of years sometimes, and we've got to get that back into them. The first thing is by thanking them for being here, because our industry needs them to be here. When you feel like you're being needed, it's not that hard to then put a little bit of yourself into it, because everybody likes to feel needed. And it can be a real driver and motivator for you in your tasks, particularly when you know they're being appreciated. Everything our students do is either rewarded or corrected. Most of the time, I'm happy to say they're rewarded. And the rewards can be simply a verbal commendation from a lecturer, or it can go as far as a student of the month receives a $100 voucher for a restaurant. We've got a few restaurants that participate in that scheme as well. So that helps the enthusiasm. So with those three basic skills that can't be taught, they can only be encouraged: passion, enthusiasm and commitment. Our students then go into the hospitality industry having graduated from a 16-week full-time course where they also have 36 service periods. So that comes to around about 75 to 80 hours of work experience. A lot of that is done here at the Empyrean Function Centre and with the Metcalfe Playhouse. And also a lot of it is done in the wider Northbridge community, who are more and more supporting our activities here at Empyrean. Well, we've currently got an application being processed for further government funding. We are hoping for 120 funded places for students. We'll find out about that shortly. On top of that, we've also opened the business school, so we're now teaching Diploma of Business and Diploma of Hospitality. We're expecting to start with a class of 20 in the next few weeks. We've also just recently become an international college, and we are aiming to apply our ambitions to raise the bar in everything we do to the international college as well. So I'm looking forward to that starting. We teach English now as well, and security operations. So we've really expanded in the last couple of years, and we're in a position now to make a difference in other industry areas as well. So it's exciting times coming. And also, of course, we have the Metcalfe Playhouse, which starts its first show on July 22nd, which is also another exciting thing for Northbridge as well. So lots is going on.